You're listening to Oilers Nation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Welcome in to the January 9th edition of Oilers Nation Radio. Tyler, Bagmilk, Rick, Liam, Dan. Yes, all five of us. Yes, all in one room. Yes, we're going to talk about the Oilers for the next hour. The hottest team in the NHL. Feels good. Feels good, gents.
Looking for another 8-game win streak.
How about Cutter Gauthier, though?
Oh, Dan, we're going to get into
diving into things. Back-to-back episodes, we've just dove right into the Philadelphia Flyers. Because Friday we spoke about Torts.
I can't wait to talk about the All-Star game.
I feel like we dove into something else
started.
Friday. I think I brought something up right away.
How many centers the Oilers have?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
John Tortorella didn't want to talk about Connor McDavid,
Yeah.
but he sure as shit has to talk about Connor Gauthier.
Cutter.
Gauthier, sorry.
No,
yeah,
he
geez.
did not. He said, I don't know from a hole in the ground. I don't want to talk about this guy. He's not on the team anymore. I want to talk with Jamie, who's on the team.
But then he did know him from a hole in the ground.
I don't.
Do you
probably
think
not.
that his parents were huge fans of Mariano Rivera?
Probably.
Only explanation, really.
Where else do you
Or
get that? Maybe they're lumberjacks?
Or they're seafarers, and they like the type of ship, the Cutter.
Oh, diamond industry. They're cutting diamonds.
We're going to get into some league notes a little bit later on because there's a lot of headlines.
His dad was a huge golf guy. It was Cutter Gauthier for a while.
They just couldn't read it on the birth
Yeah,
certificate
didn't
very
work.
well.
The Oilers have played once since we last did a podcast. So
What happened?
They won again, right?
They were inspired by my golf game or my bowling game on Friday. It was Gutter Gauthier.
It was Thursday,
Sorry,
but I
I heard he was a fan until he was a coach of the World Juniors. He was Sutter Gauthier.
He loves popcorn so much that it was named Butter Gauthier.
Tyler's just waiting for us to get them all done.
So sometimes it takes a minute.
Yes, I didn't want to go to the Stutter Gauthier.
Jesus.
Jesus Gauthier? No, not him.
No, I think that one was funny.
All right.
That was funny, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into our It Is the Delicious Debate, and it is brought to you by
Hey,
Wendy's.
do you love ice cream? Nutter Butter Gauthier?
Rick, I'm going to give you a quiz, all right?
Okay.
I'm going to give you acronyms
Yep.
that are stats, and you're going to tell me what they are.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
SOG,
Shots on goal.
PIM,
Penalties in minutes.
GAA,
Goals against average.
PPG,
Power play goals.
BPMM,
Beers per... Pardon? Say that one more time.
BPMM.
BPMM. Yeah, I got no idea.
Yeah, Rick, that's because it stands for the Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, which is back for a limited
Oh,
time.
you rascal.
I know. I didn't see that at all.
You can get it today, tomorrow, whenever. Well, not whenever. It's only back for a limited time, but it's available at Wendy's or on the Wendy's app. This is also your reminder to sign up for the Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor game. I'm on today, too. Anyone else?
Me,
Liam is.
I'm out.
Hey, hold on a second here. Let's go backwards a bit. Was it not Liam who was in like the almost finals
what
last
happened?
week? What happened?
Leon Draisaitl did nothing.
Nada.
I lost.
You went with the majority of people.
You were our
Yeah. I went with my guy.
you were our shining star.
I know. I failed you all. And I'm miserable about it.
Well,
If you're listening and you think you can predict better than Liam, head to dailyfaceoffsurvivor.com. Whether you're a winner or a loser, you can come out ahead by ordering Wendy's for dinner. Or the Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom.
I want the mushroom burger. It
Sounds
looks
good.
delicious.
Yeah.
I saw a commercial for it the other day. It looks fantastic.
Back for a limited time. The delicious debate. It is here to stay. And the question today is, where do you think the Oilers will finish in the division? We are at tonight is the 37th game of the season. So we're getting real close to the halfway point of the season. And the thing is, the Oilers have been close to winning the division in back-to-back years. And their record at this point is more or less the same, if not a hair better, than it has been in those seasons. So if you had to guess, first, second, third, or a wildcard spot, where do the Oilers finish, Dan?
First, baby. First. Let's go. It's, I don't know, like to me, it's just, it's what this team's goal should be. And I think that this team is going to have a hell of a second half. So I'm going to say first.
I will say second because of the head-to-head against Vancouver. Vancouver would have to slip up a lot, and they get to play LA, and the Kings are, I think it's 6 times in
They
the
play
back off.
Vegas 3, LA 3.
Okay, yeah, that's 6 last time I checked. So, yeah, I'll say they can get ahead of both those teams.
What a jokester.
Well, I'm enjoying basking in everyone's changing their tune from a couple weeks
Except
ago.
mine.
No, 100%.
Thank you.
I'm sticking with first. I said it a while ago. I just think this team is good enough to get there. They got over that weird 13, 12, 10, whatever game stint that was at the very beginning. And we've seen a different team since November 11th. That team's they're going to be relentless. They're not going to take their foot off the gas, and you will see them rise to the top.
The Oilers right now are 14 points back of the Vancouver Canucks for first place, 4 games in hand, 1 more head-to-head. They are 10 points back of Vegas, also 4 games
14 and 4?
Yeah. Well,
14, 4, that's 6. Win the game, that's 4?
They're 14 points back with 4 games in hand.
Yeah, so 4. Yeah, so that's 6 points if we win them all. If we win those 4, that's 6 points. Plus a head-to-head, drop another 2, and then it's 4. Oh, hot damn. I'm really confident in my answer now.
They are 10 points back of Vegas with 4 games in hand and 3 head-to-heads.
Stupid Vegas.
They are 5 points back of LA, same number of games played, but 3 games in hand. With that info bag milk, where do the Oilers finish?
Well, my answer makes my heart flutter, Gauthier. I'm going to say second only because they've lost those 3 games to Vancouver. I think they are going to tie Vancouver, but the tiebreaker will not go our way.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where I come out on it, too. I think a 15-point gap, especially when you look at the way the Canucks have just continued to roll with the existence of the loser point, 14 points feels like just too much, especially with that lack of head-to-head games. Like, again, games in hand are great if you win them all. If not, you're still going to be back. There's still a lot of time left in the season. I totally understand that. But I think second place is like a good, happy medium here.
Still
like
home ice.
I think they'll be better. Home ice would be awesome. I think they'll be better than a wildcard team. Like, Vegas has been painfully average over the last little bit. LA's getting banged up. I don't know.
When does Mark Stone's career-ending back injury come back into it? So he goes back on LTIR and they go above the cap again.
Yeah,
that's
go
my
trade for
question.
someone that's like $10 million player.
Oh, my back hurts again. It might be my whole entire career. Oh wow, I am ready to go for Game 1 of the playoffs. What a surprise! What a miracle!
Who are they going to get at the deadline? They'll get Jake
Yeah.
Gensel.
Yet he was he's played all 40 games so far.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's incredible.
They really duped us, eh?
Wow.
He's a strong player, Rick. You have to give him credit.
Not
he's
his
overcome.
back, apparently.
He's overcome some things.
Yeah.
Masterson Trophy
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
lying.
Masterson Trophy this year for
When
sure.
I think of Mark Stone, it makes me shudder, Gauthier.
If I wanted to get to organizing, I might declutter Gauthier.
I hope someone declutters.
So Dan and Rick both said first.
I said second.
You said second. Liam?
I said second.
I'm also going to say second. So is it fair to say then it's a disappointment if they don't have home ice in round 1?
No. Because there was a point in the season where they were last.
There was a point in the
So the
season when
fact-
I don't remember what the numbers were, but there was a lot of low percentages on even making the playoffs.
Mine was 65.
Yeah, mine was 60 or something.
I think I was still in the 80s.
100.
But
I was mentally broken. I'll be the first one to admit. However, I
65 still means they
made
would
sure
make
to
it.
asterisk it, stayed on the bandwagon, and we brought up the numbers. I was always 100% this team will make the playoffs.
MoneyPuck.com now has the Oilers and their percent chance of making the playoffs up to 87.7. It's pretty funny what one 8-game heater will do. Never mind what 2 8-game heaters will do for you in the standings. And all of that while Vegas and LA play like 500 hockey.
The funny thing was, though, excuse me, even when we were in Seattle, but the day before when we were in Vancouver Airport still getting delayed a couple times, we were all on our phones trying to bet the game, right? Because we knew we couldn't bet once we got into Seattle. But the Vegas was not giving us the odds of a team that was 3, whatever the hell it was.
They were favored at everything.
Yeah, so Vegas did not change their tune, which kind of helped keep me a little afloat there. Because if they were changing, then shit, everyone's against us. But they weren't changing. They know something we don't know. Maybe my heart's getting involved a little too much here.
Hey, fair enough.
Happens.
Fair enough. There you go. That is your delicious debate. You can have your say by tweeting us at ON Radio Podcast or tagging us all individually in a tweet. I love when people do that.
Send us a voice note and mutter, Gauthier, your thoughts.
Are you writing these down over there, by the way? He keeps typing. I think he's just writing these down.
If his father was one, his mother was one, he could be Mutter Gauthier.
Could be. There you go. Our delicious debate brought to you by
Oh,
Wendy's
boy.
and their Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt, which is back for a limited time. Sign up for the Daily Face-Off Survivor Pool today. Sponsored by Wendy's and the Wendy's app.
We're right now at plus 1,100 to win the cup. I got us at plus 1,500.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Ooh, that is nice.
I like that.
Totally off topic, but somewhat related. Our pal Aaron, he's a Patriots fan.
Out there, yeah.
Yeah. And he bet on the Buffalo Bills to win the Super Bowl when they dropped to 35-1.
Yeah, that's not paying.
Yeah,
It's not paying.
But you're saying there's a chance, Rick.
There is always a chance.
They're now 6-1.
Hilarious. Go ahead and bet on it. Did you watch that game the other night?
I did.
Without the luck of the Diggs catch, you should not throw that ball. Like, you can throw the ball, that's incredible. You can whip it down there, that's insane. But that catch got a little bit lucky. The touchdown catch was extremely lucky. Off the hands, up in the air, and then Sherfield caught it the way he did. That Eli Apple should have erased the play. He should have erased the receiver. Once it's off the hands of the defender, you can take your guys down. There is no more pass interference. And then the kick return, it was two guys ran into each other and tore the ligament in his knee. He would have been in the hole.
Historically, the Buffalo Bills always come through in the playoffs too, so I would definitely cash that bet.
It really matters who's captaining the ship and in control of the rudder, Gauthier.
You know what Bills stands for, right? BILLS. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls.
Hey,
That was from the 90s when they did 4 in a row.
Tyler's smiling, but his eyes are not.
he's in pain.
I lost, so I can't say much right now. I'm not looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah.
I hope they move us indoors.
I'm reveling in it. Let's move along to who delivered for our friends at DoorDash. For a limited time, our Canadian listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or $25 or more. You download the DoorDash app, use the promo code NATION25. Bag Milk, have you heard of the new feature on DoorDash, the Double Dash feature?
Tell me.
So, and I did this the other day when I ordered my burrito on Sunday. So you order your burrito, and then there's a time window where once you order your burrito,
secondary stop.
you can make a secondary stop for no extra delivery fee. So if you also wanted ice cream for dessert, you can just add that in. If you order pizza and you go, you know what would go good with this? A bubble tea. You can make that work. It might go good together, Rick. I don't know.
A bubble tea doesn't go good with anything.
A bubble tea and a burrito?
Why not?
You like the chunks in that drink? Those things
Those are
He was
good.
he was going for the alliteration here, you guys.
I was forced to have one to try one the other day, and I was not surprised.
Not a tapioca guy either, I would imagine.
No, I didn't.
Regardless of what your cup of tea is, you can get it at DoorDash, and you can use the new Double Dash feature, which I can vouch for. It is really damn cool.
I actually think this is perfect for Rick because you are known to do tours.
I wanted a little pat on the back because I think I may have been the originator in this back in the day.
You've been doing this forever.
Yeah, no, there's the Arby's stop, or you're coming back from the original Popeyes when you're coming back from Popeyes on the way to my place. There's also an Arby's. I just need to stop there, grab my chicken, please. Also give me a couple beef and chives, and then come out.
Now with DoorDash, they'll just do it for you.
That's incredible.
It really is quite something. Who delivered? I'll flip the order from the last segment, and I will start with you, Bagged Milk. Only one game for the Oilers. It was their 7th straight win against the Ottawa Senators. 3-1, the final. Who delivered?
I'm not going to take it off the board.
Okay.
I will not take it off the board. So what I'm going to say is I'm just going to go back to Stuart Skinner.
Damn it.
Nice.
Stuart Skinner has been playing some fantastic hockey over what? His last 13, 14 starts?
I think it is now.
I just think that he looks just like the guy that got us to the playoffs last year. Really ultimately saved the season last year. Looking like that guy. So against Ottawa, he had 29 saves and a 967. Only allowed the 1 goal. He's playing like a starting goaltender. And Stuart Skinner, for me, over his last, like Liam said, 14-ish starts, has delivered.
Since December 1st, Stuart Skinner is 8-2 and has a .925 save percentage, which is 7th best in the league amongst qualified goalies. Skinner delivered. Rick, who do you say delivered?
Outside of DoorDash for their new super duper special there with the 2 stops and the go, I'm going to go back for before the game though. I'm going to go with my friend number 73, and you ask me why?
Why?
Go over that. I want you to go back to the results from their skills comp, and I would like you to tell me what his speed was.
Yeah,
Really?
It was over 40 kilometers an hour. It was second. It was only a hair behind Ryan McLeod. The big fella can skate.
He's like Bowser in Donkey Kong.
Bro,
It takes him a minute to get going.
he gets moving. The big man can skate, and he needs a little love from it. I know the teammates were give him a hard time about being in that competition, and he proved everyone wrong.
That's a feel good story.
I do
They
like
were
that a
razzing
lot.
him.
Thank you.
That's good. Liam, who delivered for you?
I mean, Zach Hyman. Feel like that's a good one.
Why? Was he good?
Hell, if I was going to make it to me,
Easy.
Jesus.
Yeah,
no
the,
effort
kid, the
into this.
kid can score. We talked about this yesterday, which I'm curious everyone else's thoughts. Zach Hyman is not labeled as a natural goal scorer, but he has what now, 25, 26 goals on the season? What does it take, and this is not just Zach Hyman specifically, but why does it have to be always be these guys who just like snipe pucks all the time?
Because
To be like,
that's the natural
That's the
goal.
natural
That's
part.
the
but
natural
why
goal
is that?
scoring.
I get it,
Going
but
to the front of
also,
the net and banging home trash and having shit put off you.
but you
That's not
naturally go to
as
those.
natural.
But he naturally goes there.
He
Liam,
goes
this is
there.
just like the centerman thing again.
I would say that
No, the sentiment thing is fact. This is a debate. I'm not
I
going
just
to
think-
die on
but
this
like
hill for
in
it.
a city that loves Ryan Smith, this is the best place for him to score the kind of goals that he does.
yeah, yeah.
just-
This place loves a greasy goal.
Not to alienate the older people, Glenn Anderson before Ryan Smith.
And also just like I think about his power play setup a lot, where he just essentially, Rick has pointed this out before, he just like widens the net by about 3 feet, just standing there prepared to bank one in off his body.
Was the tip the second or the third goal?
That was the third goal.
Because that thing was
First.
not the Bouchard.
Oh, the one that went off his
one that's
ankle?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, I know that actually makes natural skill, but how hard that is to tip that in as a right-handed shot,
didn't-
standing at exact angle?
He didn't tip it in. He tipped it, kind of, but like he didn't go directly off his stick and in. It
The
hit
third
his,
goal that Connor hit him?
Didn't it hit his stick and then like go to miss and then hit his ankle and go in?
No, that was the one he chipped that like
Yeah.
off
Yeah,
the
it was.
corner
It
somehow.
was
Did he? Okay, my apologies.
the way you got to.
That's the thing.
Shrug your shoulders.
It's a
in,
natural
kinda-
finish.
I just think, I think that you could say something like that. I just think when it comes to goal scorers, it's like players that take it upon themselves to create that play out of thin air, whereas Hyman is just a guy that is in exceptional position all the time and in a spot where you beg for that kind of consistency from a guy where and that's another thing too. I think for Hyman's goal scoring is consistent throughout, whereas
Yeah,
with goal scorers, your natural goal scorers like an Austin Matthews or an Ovechkin, they can be a little bit streaky, but it's comes in huge flourishes.
I think it's interesting. If he gets 50 this season, he's going to have 100 goals in his last 3 seasons.
That's incredible.
But
It's amazing.
he's not labeled as a natural goal scorer.
But they're all
I
like a
understand.
natural goal scorer. Dan mentioned
shooter.
Austin Matthews. Like that is a natural goal scorer.
I get it, but I also just don't. I don't know. It's
Well,
just
if I look
I understand the argument, and I'm not going to die on the hill like my All-Star debate, which I will die on that hill.
or your sentiment debate.
Or like Gregor called it, I've made me laugh, the all good game.
I wouldn't even
All-Stars.
wouldn't
Yeah,
even
they're
label
all
it
good.
that good. But I don't know. I feel like he is a natural, like on the Oilers, and natural goal scorers would be McDavid and Draisaitl, right?
Yeah.
But he has more than them both combined,
I don't think
right?
anymore.
No,
But
maybe
he
not
has to- he
quite,
has
but
to
he's
go to-
like
he has to
right
go to a
there.
certain area to get his goals where the other guys can kind of score from
No, I don't
any
know.
wider range.
Like, yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's interesting. He's the Oilers' best goal scorer.
That's fair. Right
He
this
also
year.
works harder than arguably everybody on any given shift he's out there.
Yeah.
He's just, there's so much to love about
Got to
Zach
win your
Hyman.
battles.
Best free agent signing this team has ever had.
Best free agent signing in the salary cap era
Right,
for the
let-
whole league.
Right, editor in
The
leaf.
amazing thing is that he is career high with Toronto. By the way, never had a hat trick there,
Yeah,
which
wow.
is interesting.
Yeah.
Because it's not like he played with schlubs in Toronto, but his career high was 41 points before he came here. He's gonna have more than 41 goals this year,
It's wild.
probably.
That that signing, I get that some people looked at the risk associated with it, but it's kind of like one of those players you can only get by taking those chances in free agency, right? Like the way he stepped in and just fit into this lineup as wonderfully as he has is incredible, man. Dan, who delivered for you?
I'm gonna just give it to Evan Bouchard again, just consistently becoming I think forcing himself into that conversation for elite defenseman, and quietly just puts up 3 assists on Hyman's 3 goals.
And 3 assists kind of in different ways as well. There was the one, obviously, the shot from the point that he gets through traffic, allows Hyman to tip in. There was the second one where he just spun at his own blue line, recognized that there was a soft spot, zipped the pass up quickly, let Hyman do the rest. Then the third one, just a nice little, I think, secondary assist.
Yeah, so I can give it to Connor. Some of those are easy.
Yeah. Evan Bouchard now tied for third in scoring by a defenseman. He sits alone in points per game in third in the league with 39 points on the year.
We need to come up with some kind of. So before we started recording, I watched a video of Jay and Rick at our Christmas party arguing about Evan Bouchard. We need to think of some kind of bet that ensures Jay has to buy a Bouchard jersey and wear it for a week or something like that.
What was his argument now?
Probably the same thing as before. To be fair, Kennedy was playing it out there, and I was like, "Is that me?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Where's that from?" She's like, "Christmas party," which is like 4 days ago. So you guys were yelling at each other. I was like, "No, it's just talking for Jay and I."
I might have it.
Let's go.
If Bouchard finishes at a point per game or better, Jay has to wear has to buy a Bouchard jersey and wear it the whole playoffs.
Oh, that's
I'm
a good
in.
one.
Yep.
That can be the only jersey he wears in the playoffs.
I'm
We have to
in
get
with that.
Jay in, but I like the sounds of it.
And I like that, but it's gonna get lost in the fact he's still got an Oilers jersey on. I personally think we need to
A
put
London
together.
Knights Bouchard jersey?
Ooh, I like that. We need to put together some sort of apology to Bouchard hoodie for him not to wear. So on the back of it, it has to be like a handwritten note to him, to Bouchard, signed from Jay, said, "I thought you were this. You
This is
proved me
getting-
wrong. Now you're this," and something along those lines. And then maybe a picture of him on the front. And if we want to take it one step further, this is all coming off the cuff, by the way.
I was just going to say,
you
this
can
had
do
no prep.
You can do the whole clown face thing.
Take it further. Or we have some kind of like modified jersey situation. So
Yeah,
on the
that's what I'm
back,
going with.
we've got the Bouchard, the name, the number on the back. And then on the front is Jay's typed out apology letter to Evan Bouchard.
I think you should have to
with
do
his
a-
face on top of it.
No, 100%. I think you should have to do a verbal one too, though. By the way, we have enough microphones here.
This is aggressive. This podcast is quite aggressive. I like
Oh,
it.
listen, he was very assertive in his spot.
He was right. He was sitting right here in this
He was
chair when he
very
started his
assertive,
rallying.
and
Yeah.
even the other day,
We were in the KGB studio down
Yes.
the road when he first started trading
Yeah.
Bouchard.
even the other day, he was still saying he's a 5'6". I'm pretty sure that's
Stands
what
by
I
that.
Yeah, so he's not a 5. Just say he's a 5'6" is to say like Leon's a second liner. Like that's pretty silly. He's easily a top 4. Easily a top 4. It's there's just he's just running. He's running out
Putting
of.
him in line with Vinny.
It's
Like,
hard
That's
to-
not a shot at Vinny either, but like
No,
that's
God,
your
no.
6.
It's hard to have like an Oiler fan that I know personally, has seen some shit defense from this team and still can underrate Evan that strongly.
He still compares him to Joltz, and I think that's not even comparison anymore because I think offensively he's a mountain better, and defensively I think he's becoming capable, more than capable defensively on his own. He's
Joltz
not
is-
perfect for the record.
Career high was 51 points in 2016-2017 with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
How many games?
78.
Evan Bouchard is already at 39 points. Justin Schultz did that once in his career.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably not the same.
So hit up Jay's social, the Squire Yeg.
Yep.
Dad is part of the solution. He loves when you do that.
You can do it on Instagram too if you have
Instagram,
whatever you want.
Twitter.
Do you have his,
Where at?
do you have his LinkedIn?
Wait for him to come home from vacation at the airport. Yell at him.
Send Jay messages on his LinkedIn.
That would be funny.
I think so.
I am going last in Who Delivered, which is tough, honestly. Ooh, maybe I'll
Shouldn't
give
be.
You chose.
Yeah, I
order.
know. I could have jumped in. I was just being nice. I'm going to give it to Connor McDavid, who had 7 shots on goal at 5-on-5 against the Ottawa Senators. And, I mean, hey, he's still humming along here. I know the multi-point games haven't really continued at the pace you'd love. He just had 1 against Ottawa, 1 against Anaheim, and 1 against San Jose, but still 10 points in his last 5 games as a result of that 5-pointer against Philly. Connor's still humming. He's still creating magic. Talk about Zach Hyman. I mean, full credit to Zach Hyman. It is not easy to play with Connor McDavid, but Connor McDavid certainly helps when you're scoring at a 57-goal pace. Helps to have that guy as your center.
Just to touch on Connor, he extended his point streak 7 games with the assist on Hyman's 3rd goal. He's now got 13 points. That's 3 goals, 10 assists in his last 7 games.
There you go. That is Who Delivered. We had Stuart Skinner. We
Vinny.
had Vinny Desharnais for his skills competition performance. We had Zach Hyman,
The natural finisher.
Evan Bouchard, and Connor McDavid.
You know who else? Just from like a flip side, Anton Forsberg was really good for the Senators.
Yeah, it was nice to
Really
see him
good.
not tear both ACLs this game.
Also nice.
That was
So
big.
his
Oh, when-
knees delivered.
When they showed the clip and like when you know what happened and you can read his
horrible.
lips and you can see he goes both my knees. And it's like, oh boy. Watching that back was tough.
That was the first 13 games of our season.
Yeah.
Both knees. Like, are you kidding me? Come on.
I kind of missed Ottawa actually playing them on Saturday. Thinking about the All Canadian division where they
was a fun year.
ran them 9 times.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people have been pumping Ottawa's tires going forward. You know, they take this young
have
kid
good players,
8
though.
times 8. They get this young kid 8 times 8. They get that guy over there 8 times 8. Add this guy over there 8 times 8.
Do you think it's
And now they're-
possible the weight of expectations on Ottawa, just like it kind of did earlier for the Oilers until they figured it out, is just one of those things where they go, oh, fuck, it's playoffs or bust for them?
No, I think you needed to, and we've seen it with the Oilers more than once. You go
Blow
back
your
to
nose in your hoodie.
It
No, I
sounded like it.
sniffled up. I just didn't want that all on camera and I wanted the sound to be muffled.
Didn't work.
We've noticed this with the Oilers numerous times. You go back to like 07-08, then you go to the Hall era, and then you go to Connor era. You need to have a certain amount of skilled veterans on your team to be able to help. And the only skilled veteran I can think of them adding was Giroux, but that was near
Tarasenko?
the end of his career. Yeah, so
Tarasenko's
Tarasenko's actually a good one. But Giroux's like near the end of his career, right? So he's definitely a way better player, but it's the same along the lines of us bringing in Andrew Ferentz. It was just, I like the player, I like what he did, but it's more about what he's doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago as opposed to what he can do right now. You need to bring in veterans who can handle time on your 1,
Veteran
2,
like-
3, and 4 lines.
Jacob Chikrin, who I've heard is apparently could be on the move again.
Yeah.
How
Frank-
many people were think over that guy last year to bring him here?
I mean, I still like him as a D man, but Ekholm's better.
Yes.
Oh, way better.
I think that division's difficult.
Yeah,
I agree.
it is.
So
Like-
every
But they're not
division.
beating anybody. Like, what are they, 4 and
But
11 on the
now,
road?
I think now they've just got into the slump where like they just kind of couldn't get any traction at the start of the season, and now it's just kind of
Yeah, they're just
falling
like-
off for them.
They're just a beat up team.
They're just they
They're
just have
down
no
to-
all
See,
confidence.
and I know this too. That means they start going out a little bit more often at nighttime, on the road, at home, either or.
They do
Yeah.
allegedly.
I think the Sens have a party problem.
Well, I don't know
What are
about
you
party.
saying, Rick?
You start to lose focus on the game itself, and you start to enjoy your life.
Must be
And
rattled
there's
by
times when
someone.
you're out by Halloween, as we have seen in this room many times with the team we cheer for. And in those years, I can tell you the team tend to come out a little bit more often on the weekends and whatnot.
Interesting.
And I think they're in the exact same spot, especially with the age category.
One time we were throwing a event on Halloween, and I was sitting there with Rick after, I don't remember who the Oilers played, but it was a brutal loss.
It could have been Calgary because they're
It might have been.
the same faces.
And I just remember looking at Rick. I was like,
That was the Talbot. That was the weird Talbot goal.
yeah. That was just like, we might be out of this. And he goes, I think we're out of this. Halloween. Sweet.
Yeah, that was
Good times.
good.
And
days.
what happened that night? Even though we got embarrassed, some of the players came out that evening.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Interesting.
And one of them walked around with the other one's face on their head.
That is true.
And
We
there
were
needs to
handing
be a
out-
little more explanation there, but we'll just leave it at that.
Handing
Skin
out
faces.
some- Yep. It was like very much like a Dwight in the Office situation.
Yeah, very much.
There you go. Who delivered for DoorDash? Shout out DoorDash. Promo code Nation25, all capitals on Nation25 gets you 25% off and 0 delivery fees on your first order of $15.
I'll tell you one thing that doesn't help with Ottawa as well is Korpisalo and Forsberg, as we know, both have an 889. Tough to win games with
This-
an 889.
There's this thing for me, and this is a very obvious statement, but did they really think that was going to be their tandem? To be like, do you know what? These two guys who are in their early 30s who have been pretty inconsistent their entire careers are going to guide us to glory. You know,
Sort
like
of.
Korpisalo, like, he was very good last season, don't get me wrong. But the year before, he had like an 857.
There was a huge argument whether or
Like-
not you brought him to Edmonton when we needed a goalie. Some were like, yeah, you bring him in here. Some were like, no, look at his career numbers. You cannot bring this guy in.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know.
UFA,
It just seems
movable.
I don't know if panic move is the right idea for it, but they said on the broadcast on Saturday that they have had 16 goalies in the last 5 years.
Is that a lot?
That is a lot.
Sounds like
a
it.
lot.
The
Sounds
next-
like as many coaches as we've had.
yeah, the other the next I can't remember who else was on the list, but they had like 14. The second was like 14. Nuts.
Probably Buffalo.
But how would you got to develop one at some point? They had Matt Sogard, I guess, is kind of that guy
Then they
coming
don't trust
through.
him.
So that's their fault.
Didn't they have Talbot last year?
They did, and
sold
Sogard, yeah.
They were a part of the shuffling of the deck chairs this offseason of goalies.
Yeah, because they all kind of switched amongst themselves.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
LA.
Talbot Korpisalo direct swap right
Where
there.
Larry
Yeah,
swapped.
one of them for 1 year, $1 million? The other one for 5x5 or whatever.
Cool.
One of those organizations
Curse
is
my
much
shitty
better
genes
than
that
the
I could be a
other.
pro athlete, you know?
Right?
It's got to be good for the right time.
Drats.
Must be nice.
Hey, you know what? While we're talking about other teams around the league, we'll get into a preview of tonight's game against the Hawks in a little bit. Waz is going to stop by with "Can you clear this up for me?" But a couple of headlines from around the NHL over the last couple of days, and our headlines are brought to you by Booster Juice.
Whoop whoop.
Visit a location today to refuel, refresh, and re-energize, or download the new Booster Rewards app to earn, order, and enjoy. The Booster Rewards points are called Berry Points.
Ooh, I like berries.
So you can start earning berry points for your delicious and nutritious smoothies. They are also going to be our sponsor at the Tourism Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament
Fun.
Bagged Milk. So we are powered by Booster Juice next weekend when we head out to the Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. Games being played on rinks atop beautiful Lake Mildred. For more information on that, you can head to chehockey.com. But for our friends at Booster Juice, it is league headlines. And let's start. We made the joke countless times. Cutter Gauthier out of Philadelphia. Liam, you are passionate about this.
Are you?
Expecting something now here.
Well, you've had spicy takes all day about it.
About this? Like what?
This is going to set a precedent for...
Oh yeah. Someone else
also-
kick it off. I don't
Not
know.
that
You're
spicy.
not really going to say this is going to set a precedence for college players, are you?
I don't think this will be the standard, but I
Have
do.
you heard of a guy named Justin Schultz?
No. But Justin Schultz wasn't 5th overall. Just
he was first round.
He was a late second rounder.
early
okay.
second. Whatever.
He was a second round pick,
sure.
and like there's multiple players who have gone a little bit later in the draft because of them being American and going to the
go to college
NCAA.
and you give them a lot
Adam
more time.
Fox was another one, I believe,
Yeah.
who dropped a little bit. Jimmy Vesey is quite a bit of a famous one, I guess you could say. I don't think this will become the standard, and we asked Colby Cohen this too, but I do think that maybe some teams will be a little bit more hesitant now on taking those players because they're able just to sit there for 2, 3 seasons, whatever.
Window, you think you might?
Yeah, they
Talking
might
about college players specifically?
College players specifically, because the thing for them is too, they get to pick where they go and play college. When you're drafted into the WHL, Q, OHL, whatever, you are drafted to that team, and 9 times out of 10 you play for that team. There's certain situations where you don't, like Nathan
you
McKinnon.
just don't sign your ELC. You go back into the draft. Jared Stoll.
Oh, Jarrett, yeah, there you go. And I just wonder how this is going to change things a little bit, because the player empowerment movement in the NHL, light, but it's happening. We had Matthew Tkachuk a couple of years ago. All those other guys in Calgary being like, I'm not signing here, trade me. And then you had Pierre-Luc Dubois, and now you have Cutter Gauthier, like 3 different situations, right? Because Luc Dubois was a restricted free agent, but Tkachuk still had a year left on his deal, and now you have a guy who hadn't played a second in the NHL, refusing to sign for a team that you would probably think most players would want to play for. A historic franchise, right?
Yep, for sure. But I mean, like you said, and you kind of alluded to it, this is a shift, and it's a tool that's available to every player. And most of them have just decided not to use it. He did in this situation, and good for him. The Philadelphia Flyers, in the same breath, could have told him they wanted to sign him, had him penciled in to be their number 1 everything, and then 2 minutes later they like Drysdale more and they traded him away and don't consult him at all. And now he's now an Anaheim Duck, and he wanted to be a Philadelphia Flyer that whole time. So I don't know, like we say it's a business for the business side of it, but when the players start to play the business side, well, then it's no longer a business.
And I think this is recency bias too, because you go back, Mario Lemieux
Yep.
said, I won't play for the Penguins, didn't put the jersey on, didn't put the hat on, held it. Eric Lindros, we know what happened with him. We had Stoll, then Calgary
Riley
took
Nash.
our guy back. Who was the guy that Calgary got from us? Was it Camilleri or something like that?
First team
Spencer
on
Fu? Are
PTO?
you talking about Fu?
No. There was
Cross?
a guy that
No,
we
not
wouldn't
Glenn Cross.
sign with us, went back into the draft. Calgary took him ahead of where we took him. So we did that with Stoll from them, and I think they did with like Camilleri or somebody like that that we drafted originally, and then didn't sign with us, went back in the draft. Calgary took him. Anyways, these are things that have been happening forever. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's an option. It's something that's agreed upon by both sides, the NHL, the NHLPA. when it comes up, I think it becomes a little more noticeable, but it doesn't get used that very often. I don't think either side disagrees with it too much. Like Dan said, if the team doesn't want, they can just trade you without saying shit, right? They can sign you and then trade you. Like,
Happened to Matthias Ekholm.
yeah, like it is what it is. So
And-
I don't think I don't want to see them make a big deal of it or make some rule against it right now, because I think that'll just be like the offside challenge thing.
To their credit, though, too, and to Cutter Gauthier's credit and his camp, it didn't get out. It wasn't leaked. Nobody knew it was coming, and the Flyers were able to have the final say on the deal, at least
And there's a
according
little
to
bit
what
of
you
reason
see.
behind it, if it's what we said it was, with the fact that the Flyers didn't want to have his bonus online online next year, therefore didn't sign him at the end of last year. So you can see why you're a little upset as a player.
Not a word was Mutter Gauthier.
Mutter Gauthier. I dig it.
Where I think he kind of looks bad in all of this is the whole like scouts going to Boston and like franchise legends going to Boston. He won't talk to them. Danny Briere goes to Sweden, won't talk to him. Like, to me, that shows a lack of maturity.
So
But this is the
Cutter Noche.
to me, if that's true, like the thing I just said, then it's a result of, hey, listen, you didn't want to sign me because you didn't want my bonus on your overage next year. How much do you want me around then? If you don't want me, like, if you don't want me, just get rid of me. Like, you can't.
Why
turn
didn't the
your back
legends-
on me and expect me to sit here and still say yes, please, please, please? Turn your back on me. I'm going to turn my back on you. It is what it is.
Why didn't the Legends come and deliver the message that he wasn't going to get the bonus overage?
Well, no, that really wasn't
that's
what
what
it
it
was.
is.
If that's what it is.
It has nothing to do with him not getting his money. He was going to get his money and sign the entry-level contract at some point. The Flyers said, we are rebuilding. We don't think it's best for you to be here this year. You need another year in college for your development. And he probably did. I don't think he could have stepped in and been an impact NHL guy. So again, it's in a way similar to a team sending a guy down to the American League. Like, I don't know. They weren't trying. It wasn't. I know you tried to compare it to like the Vladdy Guerrero thing, where they're trying to manipulate his service time, and I don't even think it was really that. I think it was just them
Because you
saying,
can't sign your ELC then go play in college, right?
No, you can't. You,
You can do that. You can sign your ELC then go play in junior,
yeah.
but not college because the amateur status and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay.
I kind of on both sides of this. Because I think Cutter Gauthier should have every right to be like, no, I don't want to be a Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah.
It's not where I want to be. Like Dan said, they could trade him in a heartbeat, and none of us, we wouldn't even be talking about this today. But on the other side of it too, I think it's not a good look for him at all to just say no to all these, like, just refusing to talk to people. Like, I've gone down to dressing rooms to talk to certain players, and you can just tell there's no interest, and eventually you just get no, but thanks. And there's no problem with saying no, but there's a problem with refusing to talk to people.
Don't you? So in that situation, I believe the agent should have stepped up. The kid would have said, "Hey, listen, I don't want to talk to these guys. We're going to move on."
I don't think he's allowed to have an agent because he's a college kid.
No, he's allowed.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, so the
yeah.
agent
So your
definitely
agent
should
needs
know.
to step in there and go, "Hey, guys, he doesn't want to talk." Your agent has to deal with
He's
that.
the one that's
Yeah.
going to take the
Now we don't know if that happened or not, but in my mind, the agent has to go up and say, "Hey, guys, he doesn't want to talk right now. Maybe in the summer." Blah blah blah.
There's got to be something between this all. Like, there's no,
Yep.
I don't believe that he would just say no. Like, you just don't say no to those guys coming. Like, maybe I would just want to meet Patrick Sharp if I was if I was a guy. Like, hey, Patrick Sharp's here,
Very
sick.
handsome.
I'll talk to him. I feel like something, because the other layer of this too is how quickly everyone in the Flyers organization was on like a show, on television, radio, podcast, whatever it may
It was
be.
calculated.
They had all their bases covered. So,
But everyone said the exact same thing.
but what happened? What
Very
did the
Philly things.
What did the Flyers do to piss off Cutter Gauthier's camp so much that they traded their 5th overall pick, who said he didn't want to play there?
Not sign him and just say, "Hey, listen."
But it's just crazy. Like, I just
understand
don't
the
get
team
it.
Saying we don't want you here next year because we're still rebuilding. I think it's
I get
best
that
for you to
too.
stay. But at the same time, the players are gonna be like, "No, like I'm ready for the NHL. At least put me in. Like, give me an opportunity. Sign me to the contract. Whatever. We'll figure out from there." Is he old enough to go to?
He went to the World Juniors this year.
Was he old enough to go to the AHL?
I don't know.
Was he a draft pick from this year?
If they had signed him, then yes, he would be fine
So
to
then
go.
he has enough. So yeah, they could have
It's like
signed
Holloway.
him.
He
They
would have
could've-
been Holloway.
Yeah, so they could have signed him to the ELC and then put him in the AHL.
One other thing for this too.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
another
they
reason.
could've.
So now you're saying, hey, listen, you can come up here, play in the AHL, which is a step up in college easily, and you get paid. But they sent him back to college. They said, no, you go back there and don't make any money. So I can see where Cutter is going to get a little more upset about this. And guys have a little bit of an ego, right? If you're going to be in the NHL, if you're going to be in pro sports, you're going to have a bit of an ego and say, believe in me. I believe in you.
Holloway last year. Not Holloway.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but old enough to go to the AHL.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
There's another angle of this, and it's the fact that the Anaheim Ducks got a high-end prospect, a guy who could one day be a star. And they add him to Leo Carlson, Mason McTavish, Jackson Lacombe, Pavel Minchikov. Who's the other one? Olin Zellweger.
So another question for Philly then is,
Dostal.
if they were going to move him like this, did they get enough for him?
I don't think you ever could. I think Philly made the
don't
best of a
know.
bad situation.
But like if you open the door, all 31 other teams, you go, hey man, Stutter Gauthier is available. Maybe you get more than Drysdale in a second.
Drysdale's good. He was 6th overall pick. He's just had his problems, but
Injuries.
He has 5 points in 10 games this season. He's not played a lot, which isn't good, but which is your biggest asset. I don't know. I think they actually got pretty good in this. And another layer to it as well, which we talked about on the live show too, is maybe this now allows them to move a guy like Sean Walker, who is doing very, very well this season. The Flyers, yeah. Get more picks from him, and then all of a sudden you got a 2nd round pick from Cutter Gauthier.
And they
you got a
desperately
2nd and
needed
3rd,
someone to
whatever.
run their power play.
Yeah, like I think this is good. At the end of the day, they had a player that never wanted to play a game for them, and they got a potential. I don't want to say star because I don't think he'll be that great, but he. Oh, hey, in the way the NHL runs their All-Star game, he's probably an All-Star one day.
But now there's talk that from Frank that the Ducks may be interested in trading away Trevor Zegras.
Yes,
He's overrated.
I think he is too, yeah.
Just because he can juggle a puck and do what he does with the puck, that's great.
And
Honestly,
he's got the $1 million
that's
smile and the hair, and he's on video game covers,
cool.
right? Like,
Cool. You're a poster child. I love it. Good for you. His best skill does not translate to the actual game.
was it like
Just his puck handling abilities.
showboatiness?
Dude, I get it. It's cool as shit. We had the OG one.
Linus Ullmark.
Rob Shrimp.
Yeah, okay. Dude could do whatever you want with that puck. It was absolutely insane. Did not really translate to the game. Just doesn't. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that doesn't translate to the game very often.
I think that he's a good player. He's having a bad year though. Looking at his,
Yeah, I don't think he fits that
He's a
coach's
decent
style.
player.
so I think
I think
he's
he's a good,
good.
complementary player. Is what
He's a good second line player.
So I think
Trevor
the
Zegras
problem will be Zegras is viewed as a superstar. I think he views himself as a superstar.
That's a big
and
problem.
he's got 2 years left on this deal, 5.75 or 5.5 million. And I think there'll come a point when he's a free agent again. Remember, they had a holdout this year. He wasn't ready to go to start the season. I think there'll come a point on his next deal where he goes, no, I want $9 or $10 million. I'm Trevor Zegras. I'm a star. And if you don't give it to me, someone else will. I think it'll be wise for Anaheim to probably pull the plug on this earlier rather than later, sooner rather than later.
Before it gets really ugly.
And get value on him, right? Because I don't think they want to be the team. They showed already with this contract. They don't want to be the team to give him $8 or $9 million.
And in this world, he doesn't deserve $8 or $9 million.
100%.
And they've drafted in a way that proves that they actually don't see him as part of their future.
However, he might be worth $8 or $9 million when his contract is due.
Yeah.
I think he's good.
Just because of the rise in the cap.
Oh, yeah,
itself.
yeah, I
So
understand
percentage of
that.
cap, blah blah blah.
I think he's a really good player. He's
He's a one-trick pony.
he's the mashed potatoes on your plate.
He's a
though.
one. Oh, do not do that to mashed potatoes.
All right.
He might
But
be
if you have
some.
mashed
green
potatoes
beans,
and a steak,
No, he might be like the really good bacon flavored Brussels sprouts.
I just look at him
Like
like
he's the green beans then on my plate.
Yeah.
I look
Not
at him
the
like
steak or the potatoes.
I look at him just like a high skilled Jordan Eberle, like a
Yeah,
complimentary
like he's
player
A
that's
really
just
good complimentary player.
yeah,
Can't
it's just
score
not
like
gonna.
Multiple time All-Star.
Yeah.
Also, another layer to this, just to add to the kind of the NCAA thing, Logan Cooley did a pretty similar thing too, where he was like, I'm not going to sign in Arizona until they figure out all this shit. Like, he didn't go to the extremes of like, I'm never going to play here, but like, he was willing to go back to college for another year, despite being the 3rd overall pick, because Arizona didn't have it together. And
yeah, but then they basically just called his bluff.
well, no, they waited, and they waited it out, and obviously they figured out whatever they were going to do. But like, I like the idea of these players being like, no, your organization needs to improve before I come there. I think that should be. I think it goes both ways. Also,
sounds
that
like
top
something we
5
heard
is
in
kind of crazy.
2015.
What was it?
So that sounds like something we heard in 2015.
What, when Slepyshev left?
Yep.
There's still time. He could come back.
He could.
Timo Hardikainen just gets a chance.
He's just gaining steam.
That's all we need.
We'll see what happens. There's a few other NCAA picks in the first round that aren't signed yet.
Do you think that coming out of NCAA, these guys are slightly overrated because it's a little bit of easier league to play in there?
I don't
Greg,
think
As compared to, say, the O, the Dub.
I don't
something
think
like
it's
that.
easier at all.
I don't think it's
Gregor's
easier. They just
done
won the
a
World Juniors.
Big long breakdown about college players that come out, like, because there was the Drake Kajula hype when he
Yep.
came here, and then the next year was Spencer Fu and like all these
VC.
high end college prospects. And it's just that
Danny
they're more
DeKeyser.
fully formed, if I'm remembering the argument correctly, because they're just a little bit older.
Yeah, 100%. But they don't seem to fulfill the potential or the push that they get.
There are more,
and it's
I
more
think-
often than not, I'm not going to say 100%, but I think in general, in average, that a lot of these kids come out of college, they're getting a lot more hype and don't fulfill that.
I think there are more Drake Kajulas than there are Johnny Gaudreaus coming out of college.
There we go.
Well, I think it's fairly balanced. Was Drake Kajula drafted?
I think that's the important
Those
distinction.
guys
is between,
weren't drafted.
Like those guys are the undrafted free agents who
Yeah.
teams view as like this free shot at like a second
Yeah.
round value kind of player. There's a difference between them and
Drafted.
Cutter Gauthier.
Well, let's not
and
forget
like the top 5 picks.
Kale McCall was
Jonathan Taves.
a NCAA
Yeah.
player. So was Hellebuck, Thatcher Demko, Brock Besser. And those are all high end players. I think the difference is, like you said, like Spencer Fu wasn't drafted.
We
Who
just
was,
get
who was
weirdly
on their
enamored.
super team when like Cole Caulfield was there?
That was Zegras. It was like Zegras, Spencer Knight, Cam York might have been on that team
So
too.
do we feel
Jack
that
Hughes, I
those
think?
players are all where we thought they would be today?
So that U.S. development team had Hughes, who was a stud. Turcotte.
Which Hughes?
Turcotte's
Jack.
failed,
Jack, okay.
unfortunately.
Turcotte's was a fail. Zegras, again, I mean, I don't think he's a superstar, but he was still probably worth
really
where they
good,
go.
But not
Really good
what
player.
he was expected to be.
Matt Boldy, superstar or on the verge of being a superstar. Spencer Knight lost
Not
the
sure
plot a
yet.
little. Who knows?
Yeah, I think
He's weird.
he's
Still a
good
question
when
mark.
he was
Cam
healthy.
York's going to be good, I think.
I like Cam York.
He's not there yet.
Cole Caulfield.
It's only been
Star.
3 years though.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
What year was this? 2019.
Yeah.
So
That's 5.
5 holy moly.
You're getting old, buddy.
Hey, hey.
Yeah, Caulfield was the last one out of that group. So, I mean, hey, you produced, of the top 15 picks in that draft, you produced 7 of them. Hughes worked out. Zegras, I think you say he worked out even though he might
They're
not have been
NHLers,
started.
but they're not what they're supposed to be. Like when you're
Boldy and
talking
Hughes
about
were. So
It's
two
only
of them.
been 5 years though.
And Caulfield. So 3 of the 15 or 3 of the 7.
It is an interesting debate. I don't think either path is. I don't think one's better than the other. I think they're both good in their own ways.
I like the other path just because that seemed to be like a super team, and this guy's great. Well, great. Look who his line mates are, and they're all great, and they're this national
Yeah.
team, and who you actually playing.
We call that the Marc-Antoine Pouliot conundrum.
Yeah, those are old.
The development program is a unique situation. I think I like the NCAA because you get the longevity of, like, say you're a fourth
And a
round
little
pick.
education, Liam.
A little education. No one ever complained about that. You
But
can
the
play until
seasons
you're
are
like
pretty short too, though, aren't they? Like 30 games.
yeah, because they only play weekends.
Yeah.
Which I like a lot. It's interesting. It's an interesting
Because
debate.
you're occupied with your studies.
Exactly. And you get to work out throughout the week. You practice 5 days a week. Like then you play.
WHL, though, you play one season WHL, you get 1 free year of CIS, correct?
As soon as you sign. Now, if you sign right out of the gate as a drafted player,
So as
you
soon
get
as you sign
I think it's
your-
3 years.
As soon as you sign your dub contract as a 16-year-old,
Yeah.
what?
You get, I think if you sign it right out of the gate, I might be wrong, but you get automatically 3 years of schooling paid for now.
Once you're done your
No.
dub career, if you do not continue on.
No, if you literally just sign that paper, you can just go to school if you wanted to.
Yeah, but no one's going to go to U of A while they're playing for the Oil Kings, right? So the majority of them wait till their career is
Yeah.
done and then take advantage of the school
Yeah.
or go to the NHL, the pro route.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, we got to cruise along here on the show. Those were your league notes brought to you by Booster Juice and
League
the
notes.
Tourism Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament. There's going to be a BOA that Saturday night. We're having a viewing party with our Flames Nation friends. Frank Cervalli's going to be there.
Friends?
Going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, we didn't touch on the Nylander thing at all. But
Tries
right
out,
away.
we're going to get paid.
Yeah, that's,
Yes, he is.
That's terrifying.
That's what it tells me.
Because, no, 100%. I had Draisaitl at about 12.5 just because I said he's going to take Connor money. Connor will take a little bit more than McKinnon money, and we're all good. And the Leafs are going to go in here and fuck it all up because 11.5 for Nylander. And I think they actually move on from Marner. I don't think they can afford to pay.
I think
that.
it's
they
an
love
interesting
them all.
debate too.
But they're saying that
I
Marner's
hope
going
they
to
keep
want
Marner.
far north of 11.5.
Because
They-
then
Marner
who's
will
going
want
to
Matthews.
play for the Leafs if he's getting?
Yeah.
But
That's
then you
fair.
could take that 11.5 and you could turn it into a goaltender and defenseman, man.
But to his credit, though, and we talk about
not
contract year
worked this
Fogel
far.
as like our joke. You look at a kid who's got 54 points in 37 games, like caught fire at the right time. He's a good player. Hell of a
He's a
player.
very good player. I like him.
All right, let's step aside for a quick break and then get to, can you clear this up for me? A WASP special production.
It's not a game.
Back on Oilers Nation Radio, Waz is here for Can You Clear This Up For Me? It's brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross and their travel insurance. You can find out more at ab.bluecross.ca/travel. There's only one thing better than sharing memories, and that's making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance protects your memories and more wherever your travel takes you. Once again, ab.bluecross.ca/travel. They're also proud sponsor of the Nation Vacation. Heading out to Zona. Still a few more spots available on that bad boy. February 18th until the 20th, you can get in at nationgear.ca. We have the full package, which includes your flights to and from Edmonton. We have the flightless package, which still gets you the tickets to the game at Mullet Arena in the Den to watch Edmonton, Arizona, your hotel, and a guaranteed good time with the Nation crew.
Yep.
And pictures of Liam.
Yep, you can take all the pictures of Liam you want, guaranteed in your package.
With or without you.
Will
Yeah.
you unmute the people who come on the trip?
If you
I'm not
come
going
on
to
the-
tell them I muted them.
No, if you-
They could probably. They can't tell.
No, I will
But
not.
if you
I will not
come
be
on the
revealing my
trip, you can
secrets.
ask Liam to prove that you're not muted.
I mean, certainly if you tweet at Liam dozens of times and he never replies, you've got a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Can I just get a quick guest list before we go on the trip? Just
all right, Waz, what is going on?
All right, clear this up for me. What's the biggest difference we've seen with the Oilers today compared to last year?
like to this day?
Like so far in the season?
They all look a year older.
Yeah.
The
Oh boy.
I got you.
In terms of play, like, what do you think is
I think they're just better. They're a better 200-foot team right now. I think they take care of their end a lot better, and you're seeing a lot more production from all four lines.
I was going to say more scoring by committee is one thing that I noticed for sure.
Okay.
the defensive core is emboldened this year where it wasn't last year.
I will say that it's this point right now compared to this point last year, you're seeing the effects of swapping Ekholm for Barry.
I've seen Cody Ceci in more one-on-ones with the goalies in the last 2 months than ever before.
He did a spinorama this season in the defensive zone.
On purpose?
Yeah, I'll say that too. You remember when we were playing Bouchard and Broberg as a pairing last season?
Not
I'm
good,
thinking
though.
Yeah,
they
I
were
mean,
good, but I mean, Ekholm Bouchard's better.
That's fine. Definitely better.
Yep.
We were very happy with that pairing. That.
Next one is a little bit Oilers related, but clear this up for me. Sidney Crosby's name's been tossed around as one of the top players in the NHL recently. Some are saying he's the best player in the NHL. Who is the best player in the NHL right now? Is it Sidney Crosby? Obviously, we think it's McDavid, but where would you rank Crosby in this conversation?
right now?
Yeah.
Top.
So he's having a great year.
Yeah, he's like a 50-goal kind of pace. He's in the top 8.
7. Top 7.
Kucherov, McKinnon,
Are we not? Are we?
McDavid.
But we're ignoring the body of work. Yes, just
We're
this
just
year.
looking at this year.
Well, and I think that's the issue right there is that most people, when they're asked this question, just defer to the guy that is the great one right now, and it's hard to say that you can beat Crosby because of his totality.
He's also much improved a 200-foot player, which
Yep.
really ups your game too, right? There's always a thing where Ovi took his time coming back. Sid hustles back. That makes Sid the better player. That's just a weird thing, but yeah, I'm saying he's top 7, top 8.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. 41 points in 39 games. He's 36. He's having his best start to a season in a while.
And you still get the defensive
Sid's
side of his
legit.
game.
And like some of the goals he's scoring this year, I've actually watched a handful of Pittsburgh games. He's scoring vintage Sid goals this year.
Yeah, so I would have like Kucherov, McKinnon, Panarin, McDavid, probably Pasternak, probably Matthews, and then probably, Sid, 7.
Oh, no dry side.
Well, like this year.
I'd give Tyler credit there.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I think we can all understand that Draisaitl's not in the top 10 this year.
I would say top 10.
A couple
Yeah.
other names there. Yeah, like maybe you have Quinn Hughes in the mix.
Well, there's also goalies too, like Hellebuck, Thatcher Demko.
Yep. That's fair.
Maybe 11.
This one kind of came last moment, but what do we think? Clear this up for me. Is it better for Leon Draisaitl to not go to the All-Star game so he can have a few extra days off? I don't know. Is it really going to impact his play if he does go or not? Like, how much energy do these players actually put into the All-Star game, to be honest?
Well, I have a theory that this is the year Leon misses the All-Star game and Connor misses it next year. But I just think that he's not of the Edmonton Oilers currently, and Tyler kind of laid it out there. He is not even in the top 3 for me. So Hyman and Bouchard deserve it more than him. And why not give him a little break?
I think Leon would love to not go, frankly. I don't know anything about anything, but like if he goes, Leon, you're not going to the All-Star game this year. He goes, dang. Anyway, I guess I'm going to go to Cabo or something like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Leon Draisaitl, he is 3rd in the fan vote, so he will be going to the All-Star game
I
this
just
year.
think that he might get banged up in the game right before the All-Star break. I'm just saying.
Last year, didn't they go to Turks and Caicos before the All-Star game and then just go
They
anyway?
do have their bye week attached to it.
Yeah,
so
like,
they
he'll be fine.
he'll be fine either way.
I can see
He
him
will be
saying,
there.
"Hey, I've got a little bit of a knee injury," and his replacement turns out to be Zachary Hyman. Yeah.
He's going to come back from the All-Star break more tan than
Tanned.
Gene Principe. Take the time off, Leon. You deserve it.
I don't like those odds.
A little bit of a shorter one from me, so thank you for clearing that up for me.
There you go. Can you clear that up for me for Alberta Blue
a good
Cross?
It's a signature game.
That's a good bit.
Yeah. Let's wrap up
Oh,
the
he
show
didn't
with
correct
a
me.
game preview. The Oilers taking on the Hawks. Our game previews brought to you by Greta. Pre-game, good spot. Post-game, great spot. Spot to watch the game? Why not? Their TV setup is good. The food is good. The drink is good. The games are fun. You can get it all downtown at Greta. Boys, Oilers taking on a Chicago team. I have some numbers here that I pulled up.
While you're
during-
pulling those up, can I read some line combos for you from our friends at dailyfaceoff.com?
No
we
one's
play
gonna.
the game of put a finger up every time you've
Yes,
heard
we
of this
can.
person.
I was gonna
before.
say no one's gonna believe this though.
Yes, we can.
BM's literally gonna list off a list of his friends.
Okay, so if you have heard of the player, put a finger up.
This is, according to our friends at dailyfaceoff.com,
I don't think I'm gonna need my toes.
the first line that the Chicago Blackhawks will be going with tonight. Rem Pitlick,
Am I putting him up if I've heard of them?
Yes.
Heard of them.
Philip Kirchev, Taylor Radish. There's your first line. Thoughts?
It's a great third line.
3 for 3.
Welcome to the 1996-95 Oilers.
Second line, you got Colin Blackwell, Jason Dickinson, and Joey Anderson.
I would have sworn he was a goalie.
Not Josh.
Lucas Reichel, Mackenzie Entwistle,
So many.
Oh, he broke Gene's phone.
You did.
Yeah. So many.
Cole Gutman.
The gut man.
That's just your buddy.
He is the gut man. That is your third line. Your fourth line is Boris Kachuk, Zach Sanford, and Ryan Donato.
Okay, that's actually not. There's some names there. Okay.
That's Zach Sanford, not
I
Curtis
got
Sanford.
9 in the first 12.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's not
Bit
as
This
terrible,
is-
Tyler.
What is the Blackhawks?
You also spend the entire day of every day of the week following the NHL. So let's.
I know.
You were like, but two of you should not have even been involved. in this.
I
You have heard
I
of
stopped
everybody.
counting because I
yeah,
knew
'cause
them
you knew
all.
everybody.
Yeah, I lied.
This is
I know
the
Joey
Rockford
Anderson.
Ice Hogs is who this is.
Totally.
I want you to do this with Jay and Wanye.
Oh, well, Wanye wouldn't know one of these people. His answer would be like, I don't even need fingers and toes.
So that forward group BM
Yeah.
has a combined cap hit of $15.08 million. And this season, together, they have 46 goals. The Oilers, for comparison, $45.52 million and 103 goals. Quite the difference.
So, how do you preview a game like this? You can't look at it as a free bingo spot on the bingo board. You cannot.
Because they beat the Flames.
Yeah, the Flames are terrible.
No. Yeah.
But
Look,
like
you
the
have to
point
go
is, you
out there,
can't
you-
look at whoever's with Thursday.
Scoreboard has to be one thing. You just got to make sure you win, right? That's all you really care about. If you're looking at scoreboard, but you need to look at the team and you need to break down each line, each department. Say you guys need to go there and dominate. I want domination in our defensive zone. I don't want to see them with any high danger chances or very few high danger chances. I don't want to see their zone entries to be all that nice. I want to see our zone exits nice. I want to see the neutral zone play really well. I want to see our power play try and figure out a way to get going again, and I want to see us dominate and cycle as forward groups. Like, you can't sit here and look at 6-1, 7-1, 8, whatever. You need to go out there and break it down per position group and go, you guys need to dominate this team. They don't have anybody out there who should be any type of danger to us. We need to go
Except the
dominate
Gutman.
every single part of this game.
Skinner getting the start. I think it's the right call. Get the 2 points. Keep the winning streak going. Stu's playing good. You got days off a little bit. Your schedule's not crazy. I think it's a smart play. We'll see if they go with Pickard on Thursday against Detroit, or maybe if they wait to play him until Saturday against Montreal. Dan, anything on this matchup that stands out to you?
I mean, this is just a Chicago Blackhawks team that is going to be floundering, without really much of anything to point at as the sail to kind of take them through the next stretch of games. The team has, with Connor Bedard on the ice, was 19th, 21st, 9th, 13th, and 18th when it comes to goals for, expected goals for, shot attempts for, scoring chances for, and high danger chances for. And now they're ranked 32nd in all of those without Connor Bedard on the ice. So
And Connor McDavid.
I think that, without Connor McDavid as well. I just think that this Edmonton Oilers team now, I'm pretty confident in saying is not going to let themselves down in this stretch towards the playoffs. I think that the San Jose Shark loss of old, you saw what they did to the San Jose Sharks afterwards. This team is just going to keep coming. They did it against Ottawa and Forsberg, where he was a solid enough goalie that they could have. Ottawa was in that game the whole way through because of his goaltending, but the Oilers were not going to stop, and they were relentless. So I hope that I'm right in this, and I think I am.
Looking at power play 1 for Chicago, you got to shut down the gut man. He's your pivot point. You can do that.
Does he play power play?
According to TheFaceoff.com, the gut man is your first power play unit center.
No.
Dangerous.
So you shut down the gut man, I feel like you have a good chance. But like for real though, make life hard on them.
Pedal to the floor, throttle him.
Make life hard for Peter Mrazek. Like, he has been in the NHL for a minute. He's an NHL goalie. Make life hard for him.
That's fair. Okay, let's wrap it up for our friends at Betway. Let's do a score prediction and an anytime goal scorer that is not on the top line. Actually,
Not on the
sorry, that is not McDavid, Draisaitl, or Hyman. Give me something different.
6-2, Bouchard.
4-2 Nugent Hopkins, but I'm also, this is the day.
Oh, no, it's not.
This is the day. This is the day Connor Brown scores his first goal with the Oilers. It happens today, and it will be shorthanded.
Okay, so minus the shorthanded part, I, along with these three, you know what I'm asking them, challenge you to put your money where your mouth is.
All right. What are the odds on it? I will.
I have no idea, but they're
Probably
very much
not
in your favor.
available.
if Betway, because I'm 19 plus and could do so responsibly, has anytime goal scoring odds, I'll look right now for Connor Brown. I will bet on it.
Liam, score prediction, anytime goal scorer.
6-0 Oilers. Derek Ryan.
Dan?
7-1 Oilers, Evan Bouchard.
We're going with Bouch too. I'm going to say...
Come on, get greasy with me. Say Cody Ceci.
Slap shot.
I'm going to say 6-2 Oilers, Darnell Nurse finds the back of the net.
And it'll be the first goal of the night because that's all he does apparently this season.
Good point. All right, there you go, guys. That is a wrap on this Tuesday edition of Oilers Nation Radio.
Unfortunately, I cannot bet on Connor Brown to score a goal tonight.
That's what
I
happens
would
when
have
you
retired
don't score.
tomorrow, courtesy of our friends at Betway, because I'm 19 plus and can do so.
Yes, you can. Anytime goal scorer, Connor Brown, plus 375.
Why is it not? Connor?
That's it?
That is remarkable.
Hold on. I want to put this one together with this one right here. And,
I don't know if it'll let you put them together.
oh, they will not. But anyways,
Okay,
Cody
well, then I'm
Ceci plus 600.
in. Well,
So if you can somehow put those two together, which you can't do on that exact
if
app.
both of those guys score tonight,
Yeah.
I'm buying donuts for the office tomorrow.
All right, we are back on Friday. As
Hang
we
on, Tyler.
always are. Oh,
I'm betting on Connor Brown.
okay.
Hang on. I'm
Did you know Zach Hyman was an NCAA player too?
Michigan?
I forgot about that. Yeah, Zach Hyman,
he was
54,
Michigan, right?
22 goals, 54 points, 37 games.
Shouted Michigan national champions
Yeah.
of college
I
football.
feel like he's odd.
Hyman's plus money.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
baby.
decent
All right, better go and do that one then.
All right.
Connor Brown plus 375. There it is.
Kulak plus 700.
How? How is he plus 700? Connor Brown, I only got plus
Kulak
375.
scored twice this year.
But you know what? When I get that goal tonight, all the people that listen to this podcast before the game goes, wow, bag milk. What did you know? I'm like, shorthanded goal, baby.
Or a lot of people are going to be listening to this tomorrow just laughing because he didn't score again.
Yeah, you
Does he
wasted.
kill many? Does he kill
Yeah, he
many?
kills a
Does
lot.
he? All right.
He's had some good short-handed looks this year, actually.
It's only a matter of time. Math dictates that he will score.
He's on pace.
It's happening
His
tonight.
first goal is going to be an important goal.
Yeah, to set the tone, shorthanded tonight.
They put the Oilers up 7-1 tonight.
It's like the first basket in an NBA game. Woohoo! There's another 56 baskets coming back to that one team.
Yeah.
But you got excited about the first one.
All right.
right.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That is a wrap. We'll be back on Friday to recap the games and hopefully wins over Chicago and Detroit. Thanks for tuning in. See you then.